All right, welcome everybody to our Essential Oils for Mamas and Littles class. We just want to thank you for taking the time late in the evening to come hang out with us in this Zoom room. And really in the next 30 minutes, I can't wait to cover like some of my favorite tips, our favorite things that we use for like this season of life. As Emily and I were kind of prepping for this in our brains, it was kind of like 0 to 5 age range, but like the reality is like, this could really be for any age. So don't rule anyone out or any recipe out. I would encourage you to ask your questions in the chat box. We'll take time at the end. I would encourage you to take notes. There is no handout because we are mamas of littles and ain't nobody got time for that. But yeah, so we're going to take, here's Hope. Let me let her in really quick. We're just going to take just a minute to introduce ourselves so you can know a little bit more like about the crazy oil ladies who are talking right now. So I'm Amy. I'm the mom of 2 girls, Whitney and Zella. And the honest truth is that I can't imagine having to go a day, especially as a mom, without my oils. And I know my husband Gary feels the same way. He says this often too. We literally reach for them all day long for all kinds of things. And it's especially neat to watch our girls understand that they can reach for them too, and that they can take care of themselves in that way. I think if I'm honest, there can be a lot of like fear and even misinformation around using like essential oils for this season and for your little ones. And I just have like a huge passion for like taking away that fear and replacing it with a healthy respect for essential oils, because they can offer us so much and they're such a great option. And the way that I like to help people with that is with the education, right? If you know how to use them properly and well, then like the sky's the limit and you can incorporate them in so many ways. So that's a little bit about me.
Hey everybody, my name's Emily. So I had to just talk really quick about these 2 pictures because they make me so happy. So on the left is Amy with Zella, and on the right is me with Ada. So I have 2 girls. This is my second daughter, and these 2 girls on the screen were born almost exactly a year apart. Zella's almost exactly a year older. Same room at the same birth center, same bed at the same birth center, and somehow the photographer got like the same picture.
Same filter.
I just love that. Okay, so my name's Emily. Like I said, I have 2 girls. I have been using oils for about 6 or 7 years. So before kids, during pregnancy, during labor, now with my 2 little girls. And I'm really grateful, like Amy said, just to have these tools to be able to reach for something. My daughter just got over a cold. My husband and I have the cold now. We're like, summer colds are our thing. We like do it every year, every other year. But honestly, they go so quick and we know exactly what to do, how to make ourselves feel better, how to make our children feel better. And that's really meaningful to me to have those at our disposal. So like Amy said, just wanting to help you guys have the education so you know, like, how do I actually use these in like day-to-day mom life, right? So let's get into it. Okay, so first we are going to be raffling off some prizes. So we're feeling really generous tonight, so we'll see what we raffle off. We're not exactly sure. There's a lot of options, right? So we have rollers, we have straight oils, we have diffusers, we have resource guides, lots of things we'd like to give away. So to be entered in, text whoever invited you to this class. Okay, so our numbers are up on the screen. Every text you send us gets you an entry into the raffle for free stuff. So we'll be asking questions throughout as we're going through. Just text one of us, whoever invited you to the class, text your answer, and we'll get you entered in, okay?
We never say this. For this first text, just send us your name if you've never texted us before. Sorry.
I never do. Yeah, send us your name so we know who's texting us. Thank you. First text us your name. Okay, sorry, I keep going. This is the 3rd time we've done this class and I'm still like, oh, me. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about why Doterra. So Doterra oils are the brand that our families have chosen to use, and they're the brand that we've chosen to educate others on as well. So you can find essential oils literally anywhere, at the grocery store, at the gas station, on Amazon. So what difference does it make, right? They all say they're 100% pure right on the bottle. So what difference does it make where you get your oils from? Well, Unfortunately, it's not the case that all oils are 100% pure. It's just false. So, unless you as a consumer are sending in your product to a private lab, there's no way for you to verify that what's in the bottle is actually what they're saying is in the bottle, right? doTERRA does all that for you. So, we feel really confident using doTERRA oils, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about why. All right, first, let's talk about purity. So purity means there's no foreign contaminants, there's no fillers, not even the residue from the machines. There's nothing. It's just the pure essential oil that derives straight from the plant. Every batch of oils undergoes rigorous third-party testing, and they'll show you the results of those tests.
Yeah, like Em just said, their transparency is just so important to me. So you can go to source2you.com, and on the bottom of your doTERRA bottles, there's a batch number. You can type that in and you can see the test results that have been done for the oil that's in your hands. And I think that's really key. And I love that they do that.
And then potency. So potency means that each plant is grown in the part of the world where that plant grows best. So this results in the absolute best possible chemistry for that plant. So for example, you can grow lavender in Wisconsin, but that's not where that plant is from. It's not where it grows best. So it's going to give you a different chemistry. It's going to give you totally different results than a lavender grown where lavender grows best. Okay. So the ideal natural chemistry means the essential oil that is extracted is going to do exactly what you want it to do for your health. No more, no less.
Let's talk about sourcing for a minute. So doTERRA has created an entirely new sourcing system, and it empowers thousands of small scale farmers all over the world. I just think it's the most amazing thing. So doTERRA doesn't own its farms because there are already farmers out there all over the world who like grow these plants in the best places, have done it for generations, and support their families this way, right? And so doTERRA partners with them to create sustainable farming practices, pay immediate and fair wages, often to people who are being taken advantage of in some really terrible ways, and to invest in their communities as well. I am blown away by doTERRA's devotion to people on both sides of the bottle, and that nobody is taken advantage of anywhere along the way. And in like really simple terms, like you could kind of call it like fair trade for essential oils. Oh, that was my slide to show you the visual for that. You're welcome. There it is.
Okay, so let's talk about science and research. So doTERRA has over 113 medical and university partnerships, including Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, St. Elizabeth has a new beautiful cancer center. They're really at the forefront of like pushing forward the science and research about essential oils, which is really just providing evidence, scientific evidence for the anecdotal truth that we've known for a long time, right? But that's part of science. You need the evidence. So if you're somebody that's like, show me the studies, show me the details, you can go to a website, pubmed.gov, and I'll put that in the chat. And you can type in like frankincense essential oil or eucalyptus essential oil or whatever, and it will show you all of the available studies that have been done on that essential oil. So there's new studies being added all the time. This is a huge growing body of research. But if you or someone in your life is like, I think this isn't real, I think it's a placebo effect, I'm not sure these actually work, you can pull out the receipts, right? And be like, hey, there's studies to prove this. So check out pubmed.gov. It's a really useful tool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. So for an entry, for our second entry in the raffle, tell us which one of these is the most significant to you. When you think about doTERRA, like which one is the most meaningful to you that we talked about? Shoot us a text. We'll get you an entry in the raffle.
Okay, so the next, like these are like the basics, and you're probably like, wah, wah. But honestly, like if we're gonna help you use oils and you're gonna feel confident in reaching for them, like you have to understand these foundations. This has to make sense to you. Okay, so let's talk about aromatic first. These are gonna be the 3 ways that you can use your doTERRA oils. If you have your favorite oil with you, like I've got wild orange right here. Let's just talk about wild orange for a minute, or using oils aromatically while I use my wild orange because it's like liquid happiness. But basically, even just taking your favorite oil and putting some drops in your hand and taking a deep breath is going to have a significant effect on your whole body. Our limbic system, like the way that our bodies are made and our brain and our limbic system, it's amazing. Like when you smell an oil, the way that it goes straight through and affects, like the research, talking about research, shows that you're affecting your whole body in as little as 30 seconds. And that's just smelling it. So grab your oils, smell them, put them in your diffuser. You're going to positively affect mood. You're going to cleanse the air, like inside and out, right? Think of that respiratory support, or maybe like an odor in the air that you want to help. And you're just going to do a whole lot of good that way. So diffuse it, use it that way. But aromatic is such a great way to use your oils.
Okay, let's talk about topical use. So you can apply doTERRA oils directly to your skin. So for children, for people with sensitive skin, or if you're pregnant, you'll want to dilute the oils with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. So it's just as effective. It actually helps hold the oils to your skin. So essential oils evaporate really quickly, but the added coconut oil gives your body a little bit more time to absorb it, and it helps hold it to your skin a little bit longer. So it can actually be more effective. So the kind of rule of thumb is put the oil where you're having the issue, right? So if you're having a stomach ache, put the oil on your stomach. If you have a headache, put the oil on your forehead, right? Bottoms of your feet is a good place there, because your skin is thick and you don't have to worry about like skin sensitivities, or if you don't like the smell of something, bottoms of your feet is a great place. Basically, wherever you put them, they're going to get into your bloodstream. So it doesn't matter a whole lot, but just remember to dilute with kids, dilute when pregnant, and put it where it hurts.
And then internally, so doTERRA oils aren't only safe to take internally, they're actually recommended. They're completely safe to ingest, unlike most other brands, because of the things that we've talked about prior to us, right? And I just really like adding some drops into water, using a glass or stainless steel container, sometimes right under my tongue, and even in a veggie capsule, which is kind of like concocting your own little natural remedy that way. So what we're going to do as we move forward is Emily's going to teach us a little bit more about dilution when it comes to our oils, so you feel like you can really master that. And then we're going to dive into like some of our favorite recipes. What are we using right now? And I have to admit that it was kind of hard to narrow down the recipes to just the right ones. But the bottom line is we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. So we want you to really enjoy what you learn. We want, like, if you see a recipe that really stands out, like that's my jam, pay attention. If you see a recipe and you're like, that does not resonate with me, let it go. Okay. You don't need all of them. It's okay. Find the ones that stand out to you and you can start there.
Okay, so let's talk about diluting your oils. So Amy and I are both like guesstimators. We're both like, that looks fine, like just a little bit. If you're somebody that's like, no, I want the specific drops for each age or roller, we have a chart that we can send over to you. So just text one of us the word chart, and we'll make sure to get that over if you want the like specific numbers. But here's a really easy rule of thumb, okay? For kids 6 and under, if they're 0 to 1 year old, put 1 drop of oil in a 10 milliliter roller. So that's one of the bigger rollers. If they're 2 years old, 2 drops. If they're 3 years old, 3 drops. Okay, so it's really easy. That's an easy rule of thumb. If you're like, oh my gosh, I accidentally put 4 drops and my kid's only 3, it is okay. All right, don't worry about that. But this is an easy rule of thumb. Okay, adults, you want about 20 to 25 drops in a 10 milliliter roller. So when you're making these, start small, right? Like start small, and you can always add more oil if you're like, I don't think this is strong enough. But there's a lot of flexibility here, but that's a good kind of rule of thumb. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here are some recipes you're not going to want to be without. First aid. All right, so let's start with the owie spray. So this is one that you can make yourself. You just use you can repurpose a bottle, just put a spray top on it. 2 drops each, frankincense, lavender, and tea tree. Fill the rest with water. This is nice because you don't have to apply right to the owie, right? They can just spray it on. This is going to help promote healing of the skin. It's going to clean out the wound. It doesn't sting. All right, this is like a super nice thing to have on hand. CorrectX is another great option. If you haven't tried CorrectX, super great option. It's a cream. It's really cheap. There's a lot of great oils in there. I think it's like $12, isn't it, Amy?
Yeah.
For the whole tube. And there's like a lot of great oils in there. Super great for things like, skin irritations, obviously owies, rashes, things like that. If you're like, ain't nobody got time for that, I'm not making my own spray, lavender touch. That's great. That's what I use for my almost 4-year-old. Anytime she falls on her knees, it's just a little lavender touch, dab it on my finger and dab it on her cut. It's great. Bloody noses. Okay. So you have making yourself a roller with 5 to 10 drops of helichrysum, again, depending on how old your kid is. Fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And then when you're having a bloody nose, you can just roll that right over the top of the nose and then the back of the neck, I would do too. All right. And that's really going to help kind of help that get better quickly. And then the last one is bumps and bruises roller. So 2 drops each, helichrysum, frankincense, lavender, deep blue, and fractionated coconut oil. So this is a really nice for just like rolling on. If like, oh, this is like I banged my elbow and it really hurts, right? You have those super tender bruises. This is great. If you're like, oh no, I can't make this, I don't have helichrysum. Don't worry, just skip the helichrysum, right? Use what you have. Any of these would be great, but we think this combination would be the most helpful.
And just so you know, lavender touch is what, like, Doterra uses the word touch when it's a roller that's diluted and ready to go. That's like a Doterra diluted roller. You can make your own diluted lavender roller too. I would screenshot any of these as we're going in this section here, if that's helpful to you for lack of a handout. Okay, bugs. So what can you do to naturally keep the bugs away? Gary is like raving about our spray this year. We cannot get enough. So Terra Shield is Doterra's repellent blend. They've made it for you. It is $10.50 for 250 drops of it. And like everyone needs it. It's the best stuff ever. And it smells so good. It smells so good. I like to put it in a bottle with water. Sometimes you can like use witch hazel. You can add other oils in if you want to spruce it up, but Terra Shield is great on its own as well. If you want to look at an individual oil, lemon eucalyptus, there are studies. If you want to text to whoever you're texting and say, I want to see the study, let us know, that show that lemon eucalyptus is more effective than DEET. And so I love being able to use that oil, even if it's on its own, diffusing it, all of that good stuff. Sometimes I wear Terra Shield like a perfume because it smells that good. Sting stick. So if there's a sting going on, what are some oils that you can reach for, or maybe have on hand in a roller ready to go? So a great combination is going to be lavender, purify, and basil. You can dilute that in a roller. You can adjust the drops as needed for whatever ages you're working with, but that's really helpful to have on hand because the stings do happen. Ants and spiders, they do not like peppermint. So you can make a spray with peppermint and water. You can spray that in problem areas. You can spray your door frames. You can maybe diffuse that, but peppermint is going to be your oil to reach for if you're feeling like you have an issue with that. And then the itch stick. This is on everyone's nightstand because bug bites always itch in the night and always cause disrupted sleep, right? So lavender and frankincense is such a perfect combination. If you want to combine these two rollers right here, the sting stick and the itch stick, you totally can. I would just add frankincense to my sting stick and call it good and use it for everything. You can simplify it if you want. And the last thing I want to talk about is ticks. And so I talked about dolling up my Terra Shield a little bit. And this is one of the ways that I do add in oils, especially in terms of ticks. So geranium and cedarwood are really good oils to be adding in. And so there's a recipe there using that with the Terra Shield. And again, super effective and super safe. You can use it with your kids, your pets, and I think it's the best thing ever.
Side note about the Purify, we're talking about stings. Just this last summer, I grew up in the Northwoods, you guys. I made it my whole life without getting stung by a bee. I was 27 the first time I got stung by a bee. And just this past summer, I stepped on one in our yard and it hurt, like really hurt. And I put a drop of basil and a drop of Purify directly on it. And I was like shocked at how quickly the pain went down. So definitely have that sting stick handy. Okay, let's talk about more painful things. All right, so teething. Your baby is teething. What do I do? So have a little roller of lavender, copaiba, Roman chamomile, and then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. Apply that to the baby's jawline. So all of those are really, like lavender and Roman chamomile specifically, are really calming. That will help like emotionally. And copaiba especially is so good for pain. So that one will just kind of bring that pain level down. Rub that right on the jawline. And then make a separate roller with 1 drop each of copaiba and clove. Fill the rest with coconut oil and then apply that directly to the gums. So you can put a little bit on your finger and rub it where it hurts. That will help again with pain relief. So those 2 rollers definitely recommend for teething pain. Growing pains. All right. You can make yourself a little roller with just 3 to 5 drops, deep blue and copaiba. Fill the rest with coconut oil. Again, are you sensing a pattern? Copaiba is like where it's at for discomfort. Okay. If you're like, I'm not making my own rollers, Emily, I'm not doing that, Rescuer. So Rescuer is the roller, like what Amy said about the touch. Rescuer is a roller that's comes straight from doTERRA, already diluted, and you can just get it right from them. You don't have to make anything up yourself. It smells really nice and will also help with any pain or discomfort with little ones too.
Is this me? This is me. Digestive support. So this is like a thing with, I don't care what age you are. It's a thing. All right. So 2 things that are really helpful to have on hand would be Tamer and or Digestion. Tamer comes diluted, Digestion touches diluted, ready to go. But having some kind of a roller that you can like keep in the bathroom or on a changing table and to roll on like around the navel, on the bottoms of the feet, especially if there's an ongoing issue or even to use as needed, is such a game changer. If I had to pick one of these 2, it's the Tamer, especially for this age group, because Digestion has some anise in there, so it can smell a little bit licoricey, whereas Tamer is more pleasing, like universally pleasing, with spearmint and peppermint in there. Peppermint beadlets. This is a 1/4 drop of peppermint in like a little tiny beadlet. This is very easy for a little one to swallow, to get a little support from peppermint that way. You could also pop it in your mouth and drink some water and use it that way. But I think it's like a little mini pill. It's the best thing ever. Just the straight peppermint oil, there are ways you can use that too. I have a bottle in all of our bathrooms, a drop right into the toilet, 2-fold. It really helps like, it helps them go. If you like have a little one who's working on potty training and having a hard time, this is a great oil to put in the water before they sit down. And it also really helps with odor too. All right. And then peppermint soft gels. This is as they're getting a little bit older. This is, I think it's 3 to 5 drops of peppermint. I have to look. Sorry, I should know that. What is it, Em? 5. And in that range.
I don't know.
And it's in an enteric coating. So that means that the peppermint survives all the way through your stomach down into your intestines, where it can do the most good. They're not very big. And if you have like I'd say 5-year-old and up who's having a hard time digestively and can swallow one of these or practice swallowing one of these, I would totally have my 5-year-old do that. I think it's amazing support. I get to talk about tantrums because Em wanted me to teach this slide because her kids don't have tantrums. So we won't be learning from her tonight. Just kidding. I think there's a couple ways to look at tantrums. There's like the preventative piece of like, what's our daily support? And then there's like, okay, the wheels have fallen off the bus. What can I reach for? I think there's some great ones out of the kids collection. Calmer, Brave, and Steady. These are ones that maybe you want to like say to your kid, can we pick out one of these and use it as part of your daily routine? And helping them use that and reach for that preventatively and reactively too is great. Forgive touch. This is a really great roller to have on hand when the blow up has happened and you need to have the hard conversation, which usually involves sorry from the mama, if we're being honest, and sorry from the little. So we love forgive for those hard conversations. Balance on the bottoms of feet and spine is like my go-to for the start and end of the day for sure. And anytime something is awry, I'm over here with my balance and I'm like getting it anywhere in my hand and I'm swiping it across my kid's face. I'm like, swipe. Where can I get to? Can I get to anywhere? Swipe it anywhere on them. I put it on myself and I can't believe Gary's always like, you should film it. And we never do because it's so hot and sweaty, but they like really turn around. I want to talk about the sensory protocol. So if you look at like all the levels of tantrum support, I would put this on like the more, intense tantrum support. So this is something that we use every night for Whitney. She does not miss a night of this. And basically this protocol is a series of 10 oils down her spine, one at a time before bed. It takes about 1 minute. We just have all the oils out. And, what I find is like Whitney is a kid who, when she has these oils on, she manages her emotions better. She communicates with her sister better, us better, her friends. She eats different, like better. It's just all across the board, like levels her up and helps her manage those things on that sensory level. And it's been really significant. So I love this. And I love teaching moms how to do this.
I want to say about that sensory protocol. Since we started teaching these classes last month, I started doing that for my almost 4 year old. Not every night, but every like second or third night. And that has made a huge difference for my daughter. In the same thing Amy said, like I feel like her reactions, she's like very extreme reactions to things, and this has like really helped um kind of level her out a little bit. So a question for our raffle: you have to tell us which age is harder, 2 or 3 with your kids. Was 2 harder or 3? I remember texting Amy like a few months after my daughter turned 3, and I was like, man, this is so hard. It is so hard. And she was like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you when Evie turned 3, but she's like, it's the worst. Can't wait till you're 4.
I offer no hope.
She's almost 4, so we're almost there. So tell us, which age was harder for you and your kids? Okay, 2 or 3. Now let's talk about sleep. All right, so calm down spray. I really love this. I have this in my almost 1 year old's room. So it's just 5 drops each, Serenity and Roman chamomile. Fill the rest with water. So I spray it on her crib right before I lay her down. If you have an older child, let them do it as part of their bedtime routine. It's super calming. I think empowering to let them play a role in that too. The calmer roller, like Amy talked about, already diluted, ready for kids. Roll it down their spine, put it on the bottoms of their feet. I like to put a little on my hand and put it right on my kid's chest before bed. It's a great option. Here's some diffusing options, okay? Serenity and frankincense. If you have a kid that doesn't love the smell of lavender, Serenity is nice because there is lavender in it, but there's also like cedarwood and vanilla. Like there's definitely a different scent to that. Frankincense, kind of like, it's great cellular support, immune support, calming down. It's like across the board a great thing to be diffusing, but it will also help kind of intensify whatever oil you put it with. So putting it with Serenity, perfect. Wild orange and vetiver. That's a really nice option that people often don't think of for bedtime, but smells really nice together and will help them calm down. Cedarwood and sandalwood. Sandalwood is my personal like favorite smell, so I love this one. And then Roman chamomile and frankincense. All right, just start with 1 drop of each, depending on how big your room is, right? But like 1 drop of each will help everybody kind of calm down before bed.
What about some scenarios that pop up for almost all of us, right? One, earache, lavender and tea tree are going to be your best friend for that. You can just dilute those 2 oils and you put them around the outside of the ear and kind of massage down the eustachian tube. You can repeat that as often as needed, and it's really going to be a great support. Congestion, right? That happens. Maybe it's seasonal, maybe it's an immune thing, but Breathe, the respiratory blend. Actually, Whitney has had some congestion, and diluting that for her chest and back has been really amazing. She's actually old enough now for a Breathe drop without me worrying that she's going to choke, and that's been amazing too. Immune support. On Guard is a protective blend. Using this like fall, winter, spring, we're using this as part of our daily routine. Diluted bottoms of feet, we're cooking with it, we're cleaning with it, right? And then if something starts to come up, we might use it more often and more consistently. But this is so great to have something that's going to support their immune systems in a natural but very effective way.
Okay, no more talking about our children. We're done. We're done talking about the kids. Let's talk about mom now. Okay, so our number 1 recommendation for mom support is adaptive. So if you have not tried this one yet, this is a newer product from Doterra. But there's 3 choices with it. So you can get it all together, you can get it individually. There's the straight oil in a 15 milliliter bottle. There's a 10 milliliter diluted roller. So you can just roll it right on. And then there's the capsules. So all 3 are great. The way that I describe it is that the oil I think is better for like situational, like short-term struggles, right? So like I'm feeling stressed right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, I'm feeling low right now. There's like a temporary thing going on. I feel like the capsules are better for like, I feel this way every day. I feel stressed and overwhelmed and run down every day. Definitely the capsules. I would use all 3 products for sure, but just for like, we do so much, you guys. I'm preaching to the choir. Having that emotional support Can't recommend it enough. Especially, this is a beautiful gift for women after they've had babies, going through all those postpartum hormones. Definitely having the adaptive, giving it as a gift. Highly recommend that. Let's talk about a few other mood support things for mom. Okay. Feel free to take a picture of this screenshot if you want to look back. All right. So when you need a pick me up, wild orange and peppermint, it's an oldie but a goodie. It's a classic, like mood lifting, great for focus. When you need a breather, adaptive, go hide in the bathroom, take 30 seconds, put an adaptive on your hands and breathe it in. Just giving yourself that 30 seconds can really like turn your whole day around. Okay. When you feel like you might snap, do that with balance. When you actually did just snap, forgive. This is an oil we don't talk about a whole lot, but it's one of my favorite oils for that emotional piece, right? Like putting a drop on before you have to go apologize to your kid for, snapping at them because they are throwing a tantrum, right? Like honestly, across the board, I just think we need grace for ourselves, grace for our children. Grab your forgive for that. When you need to get the whole family somewhere on time, which is virtually impossible, diffuse and motivate, get it on everybody before you go out. A note about this as we're heading into summer months, remember that citrus oils are photosensitive. So that means you're not going to want to put like wild orange on your neck and shoulders and then go out sun tanning. All right. So just keep that in mind. Your skin will burn faster with citrus oils on them. So if you're going to use citrus, breathe it in off your hands or put it on the bottoms of your feet, right? Somewhere that's not going to get a lot of sun. When you finally get some time to yourself, passion oil. So passion is really great for helping you rediscover like yourself. Like, what are you interested in? What do you like? Diffuse some passion and be able to kind of like channel some creativity when your children are asleep, when you're off duty. I think this is a really good one to reach for. And then for when you forget that you're actually doing a really great job, your kids are just fine, you're doing great, citrus bliss. Okay, do the same thing. Take that 30 seconds and do that for yourself, do it for your children, breathe in an oil.
Okay, so we're going to take just a couple minutes here for questions. If you have one, you can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat box. We can kind of take a look at that there. I did just see Molly just asked about oils for pregnancy, which is a really good question. We actually had a whole class devoted to it that we did. What month was that? 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah.
So it's whole thing, like everything from circulation and swollen ankles to nausea and when baby comes and all of that. And so maybe it's time to do another one of those, but I do think I have a recording of one of those, Molly, if that's helpful. Cause there are a lot of different angles, right? There's a lot of different ways to use oils in that season. It like required its own thing.
For sure.
Okay, perfect. I will send you the recording, Molly. Okay, we'll come back to if questions come up, I'll keep an eye on the chat. So what we're going to have a chance to do next is, okay, this is how I kind of want you to understand this in your brain. So when you look at having oils in your home, I want you to put it in two categories. You either get like the straight bottles of oil and like you get to mixing. Like one of us sits down with you, if we're close enough to do that, or does it virtually, and like let's make some rollers, some cleaning sprays, some recipes, some things for your kids, right? And you can diffuse it, you can do all sorts of things with it, right? So there's a little bit of like, here's the oil, we're going to probably help you make some things with it to help it make it easier for you to use, right? And then you have the option of like, no, I literally just want to buy a roller from Doterra, and I might not have as much versatility with it, I might not be able to cook with it or diffuse it, but I know I can roll it on my kid and exactly what to use it for. Okay, so you kind of have those two paths as you're looking at some of the options we're going to show you. I hope that makes sense. So what we're going to get to do is show you like 3 of the most popular ways to get started with oils. And so the kits that we're going to show you are an awesome value. They even include a free wholesale membership, which just means you get access to wholesale pricing, which is 25% off on anything you want, and a ton of perks and all of our help and support, right, for a full year. Nothing weird, no weird obligations. It just means you get access to those things. All right, so here is the Home Essentials Kit. When you look at the list of oils in here, like we talked about every single one, right? These are the 15 ml size bottles, 250 drops of every single one of those oils, and then the petal diffuser. This is a really, like, you have replaced everything in your medicine cabinet, your cleaning cabinet, your like mental and emotional health cabinet, for $249 with this one.
Okay, so second option is the Healthy Start Kit. So this one is a little bit smaller than the Home Essentials Kit. This is, I feel like the Home Essentials Kit to me is more like covering your like physical, like emotional and physical health. This to me is more focused on the physical, right? It's going to do more of the emotional support too, but you're going to have like your frankincense, your On Guard, your lemon, oregano, digestin, right? It's covering all of your bases physically. You're also getting the Pebble diffuser in there. That's a new one. And there's a promotion going on. Do we have a slide for that?
I don't, sorry, can you tell them?
Yeah, no problem. So, can you go back to the Home Essentials?
Yeah.
So with this one, so there's this like amazing Breathe promotion going on this month. So if you don't have oils and you started with this kit, you would also get 5 free Breathe items. So you'd get the Breathe roller, so it's already diluted for you. You'd get the Breathe oil, you'd get peppermint oil, and you would get Breathe drops, like Amy mentioned that Whitney is using. You get all that for free with this kit. Okay. With this second option, you'd still get free Breathe stuff. You would get the free Breathe Touch. So you'd still get something free there, but that's only going on this month. So keep that in mind. Okay. And then the third option would be like what Amy said. If you're like, you know what, I just like want this stuff already made up for me, that's cool. This is where it's at. Get the kids collection with the membership. So this is going to save you. So you're not paying retail prices. Everything is already made for you. They come with little cards that show you and your kid how to use that. An optional add-on would be the Breathe Touch, but you would get that for free if you added something on. So there could be some other add-ons that might be helpful to like cover all your bases. Just because there isn't really a breathing support oil that comes in here, that's why we added in the Breathe. Mm-hmm. A couple of other recommendations. So depending on your family's needs, these are other things that we feel like are really helpful when you've got little ones. Tamer, that digestive blend that we talked about, smells really good, already diluted, ready to go for kids. Adaptive, right? Get that for you, get that for your family, get some emotional support up in there. Stickers, if you have to look like lift up the side of you and look on the side of your bottle, you will not use them. So the little stickers, they go right on top like Amy is showing. They just sit on top so you can look at all of your oils and see what you're looking at. It's 50 cents. It's the best 50 cents you'll ever spend. Okay. Rollers, so empty rollers, especially if you're diluting for little ones or in pregnancy, get some empty rollers. You can get them from Doterra, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them wherever, but getting some empty rollers is really nice to make your own stuff. Get some fractionated coconut oil and a pump top to make it really easy to make your own rollers. And then these continuous mist sprayers are super nice. So you just squeeze them and they produce a really fine mist. So this is great for cleaning products. It's great to have in your bathroom. It's great for like a mood spray. You know, some people make like monster sprays for their kids with a little oil and a little water. Super nice. And the mist comes out really fine. So these are other things we like to add on to.
Okay, so your last entry you can get for the raffle is to text us one more time. And what we want to know is option 1 or option 2 or option 3. This is not a commitment. This is you just saying, hey, this is like the kit that stood out to me, that resonated with me, that seems like it could be a good fit for what my family and I are trying to accomplish. If you already got started with oils, we kind of want to know what kit you started with. You can still answer this question that way. And so what we'll have a chance to do then is you've been texting us fun things and we've been busy teaching. So now what we get to do is to like start that conversation with you. And it's just a conversation of like what was meaningful, what was helpful, what questions do you still have? How can we help you get started with oils in a way that works for you and your budget? Kind of talking through those things. So you'll hear from whoever you've been texting to be able to kind of keep that conversation going. A class coming up this month is actually, we want to make sure you know about. I'm not laughing. It's essential oils for pets. Okay, this is actually a really important topic for a lot of people because people love their pets as much as their children. So if you want to know how to use oils safely with your pets, you can text pets to whoever you've been texting. We'll get you the link for that. It's a free 30-minute class as well with giveaways on there too. I'm going to stay on for a little bit to answer any questions that might be coming up. Yeah, I said I'm answered Lauren's. Okay, if you're making for a blend for little one, yeah, I follow the chart. I'm just like a guesstimator on the drops for sure, but just a couple drops of oil and then I go for it. I know we're really helpful, aren't we? Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. Em and I will stay on if people have questions for a little bit, and then we'll be texting with you guys. And we hope this was really helpful, and we appreciate you taking the time. Okay, I will stop sharing so we can see people.
Thanks for being on, Melissa.
Awesome. Allie, we'll talk soon. Thanks, Stacey. Hi.
Hey, sorry about the motorcycle.
It really doesn't, it's good. I mean, I knew he's been asking to sell it for a long time.
Mm-hmm. How much does he sell it for? Because he bought it used, right?
No, that was one of the only things he bought that new when he was 16.
Oh my gosh.
So get this. I just can't even. He bought it when he was 16. So it's how many years? It's old.
Yeah.
It's in super good condition though, because he's Gary Bombitz. He bought it for $4,100 and he's selling it for $4,000. And I'm like,
are you serious?
Mm-hmm. He's amazing.
Oh my gosh. When cars are 15 years old, they're like, you know what? This is trash. This is literal
collector's plates. So we're probably going to be selling the Impala too. And then that's like a tier 2 because it's like, because we're going to get he needs a second work truck. And I was like, I'll totally approve that. But I was like, you have to sell something to get it. Like, that's just going to be the deal for me on this.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so he's like, the Impala was like 4 months from collector's plate.
Oh. So. Oh my gosh.
So did Ada have it too, or just Evie? And now you've got it?
Yeah, Ada just had a runny nose for like a day, but it's fine. It's just a cold. We're fine. Yeah. Did you talk to your mom at all? Or what'd you say?
There's totally summer stuff going around. Talk to my mom at all.
About the power of 3 thing?
No, what?
No, so it's fine. Long story short, there was like this whole thing today that I was so frustrated about basically I wasn't getting my 250 power of 3, and I felt like really frustrated for a number of reasons. I feel like there was bad information given, and I followed up, and then I was given wrong information again. Whatever. There was a return. I didn't know about it. I contacted them on the 14th, which I should have done it sooner, but I didn't look. And they didn't get back to me. They're like, it's too late. So whatever. Your mom contacted. So I was polling her about something else. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's so frustrating. And I was like really frustrated because, like the strategic, there's like a lot of strategy to like make this work. I placed the order, the makeup order, I sent it in, and the account management was like, no. So the woman I talked to, Tina, was like, unless the system crashes, like there's nothing I can do. And the system crashed. So she backdated the order and put it in. And I was like, so your mom goes, so she called me on FaceTime, and I didn't see it until later. And she's like, you're getting your 250. She's like, she said, Tina said she was going to email you. And I was like, no, I have to FaceTime her and tell her. And I was like, oh, so that was good. I was like really discouraged about that. It's not make or break, but I'm like, I feel really touched that they helped.
As a victory. That was heading south and it turned into a positive. So that's
good. It was totally heading south. There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, your mom's party. So tell me really quick, scale of 1 to 10, how meaningful would it be to your mom that I would be there with James? Is it like, oh, it'd be nice, but whatever? Or is it like, I think she would really like that?
Oh, I mean, it's both. I mean, of course she would like that, but it's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, my mom isn't gonna like hold it out. She knows that,
I know. I know that she wouldn't be weird about it or anything. I just am like, yeah, just trying to talk about some things with James.
well, I think it's like complicated for you guys. I'm not answering your question. I'm going about it in a roundabout way. But I'm like, you guys will have just been up here. I mean, could you come back up? Yes. Could your parents? But it's like, it's adult only. Like you'll probably have been at the shower, like, or if you come up, then it's like, do I go to the shower too? I don't know. It's kind of a lot. And you know, uh Zella's a year older than Ada, obviously, and so we're kind of like a little bit like go for broke these days, but a year ago we weren't really like go for broke.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think about like relationally because yeah, I know she'd be fine, but I also if she would be like really means a lot to me that you came and then Elizabeth showers the same day. I'm like, oh, maybe I should try to make that work. So I talked to James. I'm like, what if we just stayed the whole week and he can't? He's like starting up in-person stuff again. So he's like, I have to be back. So I'm
Can
like,
you and the
we could
Eves
do
and the
stuff.
girls stay at your, can you guys try
I
and
thought about it. I thought about it.
I mean,
I
because
think I
in
would.
the sense of it would be like a vacation for you. I'm not trying to like split you from your husband.
Oh no, no. It's like honestly, the truth is that James and I, this is true, have not been apart for more than 8 hours in over a year. So it's like, oh my gosh, like when he went to work for a full day for the first time last week, I was like, what is up with this? You're packing a lunch? Like what? You're not coming home?
Said to me.
And so I think, yeah, it would be fine. But that thought did cross my mind. Well, maybe we would just drive separate and he would just stay. Or I would just stay with the girls. I mean, he would go back.
Also, we're recording this.